thinking my own experience, how somebody can shift from being a micromanager to not,
Mm.
or to being intentional in how they're using intentional in how they're managing and overseeing people.
Mhm. Ooh, I feel like that question has so many layers because we micromanage for different reasons. And I think it's important to make space for what might be at the root of that. And that's where the work comes in. And sometimes the work is the most difficult thing that no one wants to do because it's difficult to look at ourselves and think that there's something that we're doing wrong and having the potential to harm the people that work for us. So I feel like really understanding, where does it come from? Is this because I don't trust the people that work under me? Do I feel like they're not qualified? Do I feel, for me, I felt like I was losing control and I needed things done the way I needed it done, not really recognizing or making space for what other people might bring to the table.
Mm-hmm. Which is
So,
different. I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead. Yeah.
No, different than your point of, you feeling the need to be in control is different than your point of somebody not having the skill set to do the
Yeah.
job, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. And again, it comes with like that introspection or really taking yourself out of it and doing some reflection as to, ooh, what is happening in my team? Why isn't this going well? Maybe there's a mistrust. Maybe they don't go to you for certain things. Because again, it starts to trickle and trickle and trickle to where it becomes this big thing and this big elephant in the room that no one wants to lift up, right? So, um, really figuring out, what does my team need? And is my micromanaging harming or contributing to the success of my team? So for me, I'm really big on having open, honest, and authentic dialogue within a team. I don't like cliques. I don't like, someone feeling like I did something to them and not coming to me. So I think it's important for people who consider themselves micromanagers to make space
Mm-hmm.
for other opinions outside of your own, because you might be thinking that the micromanaging is a success when someone else is experiencing something totally different. So creating space for dialogue, when you have that dialogue, not sitting on that dialogue, but being proactive in that dialogue, taking action. Maybe there needs to be a change of behavior. Maybe there needs to be a change in approach, and creating space for people to feel autonomy and also make space for challenging, because sometimes we do need to continue to challenge when people are having a difficult time or when people are not producing or doing the task at hand. So there's space for all of that.
What would you recommend for a manager who just heard you and they think, okay, I want to make space on my team. I wanted to have this conversation. How do I start? What do I say?
Oh my goodness. I feel like also approaching it, because I feel like it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And
Okay.
a lot of times in my experience, I've said something, or I said, hey, I need help with this, or something's happening and this is what's contributing to maybe someone micromanaging me, is being honest. And
Mm.
it, even if you're not, even if you have a different approach to like open door policy, because I think that's also important. Hey, can my team come to me? Do they trust me? Because if there's no trust, if people feel like they can't come to you, you're going to continue to operate in this place of micromanagement and your team is going to be divided. So I
Yeah.
think it starts by recognizing, okay, is there trust within your team? Before I do anything, I got to check the temperature of the space. Are people open to change? Are people open to my opinions or what might be my experiences with micromanaging? Also being human. like not being afraid to say, hey, I sometimes struggle with giving you all independence because I'm used to being in this position. Or to be honest, I don't know if I can trust that you all are going to do what you need to do because evidence show that in the last couple of weeks you have not met the deadline. So being open and honest, but again, making space for authenticity.
I love that those kind of real concrete examples of like this is why I'm doing what I'm doing and this is what I'm seeing. And so let's talk about it, right? And sometimes there's different reasons. But I think sometimes we get stuck with how do I start the conversation? And to your point, you just say with kindness kind of what you're thinking, right? What's on your mind.